Five elements of art. Let's begin. Hey there people, how's it going? This is Samarth Srivastav and you're watching the Daydreamer Show. So today we are going to talk about the five elements of art. So the five elements of art, basically the line, shape, form, color, texture, are the five elements that form the foundation of any artwork that has been ever created and exhibited by any artist out there. These elements are very crucial to establish a better understanding of how skilled an artist actually is. Also, these elements are the very basics towards any artwork that you see. Let's have a practical look on that. So let's start with the very first element, that is lines. So in practical terms, when we talk about lines are just the trail left by a traveling point, right? When you use a pencil, is the trail left by the graphite ink, the graphite lead, sorry, not ink. Now you can try various moves by controlling the pressure and force in your hand, and by the stroke. You can create various gradient lines, various curves, and this is what is crucial for an artist to learn. And by making different artworks over time, he perfects it and it comes out naturally. That is what is commendable in any artwork he creates then. Now let's have an example of a portrait. Notice how I'm holding my pencil here. It's a different way. It's a better position and gives me a wider range of movements. And see how light I've drawn, because drawings are layered, not a flat surface. So moving on to the next element, which is shape. So what is the shape? What is a shape? What is a shape? A shape is basically a line which is enclosed, forming a closed area. You know about the geometrical shapes like circles. Very useful in creating any kind of drawing, triangles, squares, whatsoever. Let's see a practical example in the portrait view drawing. See how I use the circle to give volume to the upper part of the head, right? And join the lower parts with some lines and make an inorganic shape. So let's move on. So the next element is form. You see that tiny triangle over here? When you make the same triangle in X, Y, and Z axis, it becomes a form. So basically, a shape, when visualized in three-dimensional spaces, becomes a form. That's it. That's form. And there are various forms in 3D spaces. You have to visualize them. So let's see by the portrait view. You see that the eyes have a different form. There's a frontal surface, there are side surfaces on a foot. And the eyes are a different form, the nose is a different form. The topmost part, the bottommost part, the left and right part of the nose are different. The lips are different, the upper lip and the down lip are different forms. You need to realize these forms in order to draw, whatever you're drawing perfectly. Okay, these are present in any artwork you would be creating. Okay, let's finish this portrait quick by adding eyes, nose, and everything else. One, two, three. There you go. Now you can visualize the forms within a basic form of the face properly. Now we can move ahead with coloring. Okay, so colors. There are three primary colors, namely yellow, red, and blue. Every color is made out of these colors, except for white and black. They're not colors, they're just absence and presence of light. There are warm colors and there are cool colors. Warm colors are basically near to yellow, and cool colors are basically near to blue. Think of fire and ice as warm. Let's move out to understand textures better. Okay, so we are moving out. Now, what do we have here? What do we have here? We have plants. Let's go nearer. Let's have a closer look to the leaves. Okay, so we can see droplets. We can see lines on the leaves, and they're irregular in patterns. So, this irregular pattern is basically termed as texture. Now, let's see this leaf. This leaf has veins in it and has a, well, what does it have? Let's have a closer look. Zoom in, zoom in. Oh, there are these boxy like patterns, also irregular. So these also are included in textures. So you see, everything that you see near you has some texture that contributes to the details of it. Like, now see this white patch on this leaf? That's different texture created in it. Now, and look at this flower pot. This has a different texture. The pipe has a different texture. The plant has a different texture. Moving on. Okay, what do we see here? This is a wall. Pretty neat, pretty smooth. While we move closer to it, we can see what we can see, what we can see. This is the detailed pattern, irregularized pattern, all the texture that we can see on this wall. All you need to do is just try. Seriously, just try. So let's now quickly finish with the portrait, adding the last two elements, the color and texture. So color has some sub-elements as well, which includes hue, saturation, and tonal value. Now, tonal value has been given so much credibility that it becomes an element of its own. That makes it six elements of art. And if you include space as well, it becomes seven elements. These two elements are separate because they have their own credibility in an artwork. Notice how I have created the portrait a little towards the right because this is a landscape view and a portrait is always created over a what? Portrait view, right? But I cannot show it here because of the YouTube video, so I have created it like that. A little utilization of space, you know. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Anyways, so that we're talking about the tonal values, right? The tonal values are actually the gray values associated with the color. A color how bright or how dark. Dark means towards black, and bright obviously towards white. This is different from saturation. Saturation deals with contrast, while tonal values deal with brightness. Now let's finish it quickly. We're moving on. You can see the light source is right on the forehead, and I am creating all the gradients around it with any color that I have in my hand. Actually, I'm creating a very muddy look towards that portrait, not the realistic colors we have here. These are not the realistic colors. Obviously, you can see that. I'm just using different colors to give you a visualization that you can add any color as far as the tonal value is correct. Now notice how I'm adding a very high contrast color in the background to make the portrait pop out and grab the focus of the artwork. So this concludes the topic.
So that's pretty much it. These were the 5 elements of art. I hope I was able to do justice to your better understanding of these elements, and I hope you would look out for these elements when you see artworks in any gallery or any, well, exhibition hall when you ever visit them, whenever this pandemic goes off. Alright? And when you see artworks, try remembering the names of the artists. It's a sign of respect towards them and to their artworks as well. Now, about the video, if you like it, I'd like you to hit the like button. Wow, 3 times like in a row. And comment down below so that I can know that you like my video. And even if you don't, I would like to know that too. So comment down below that as well. Because it's all about improvement, right? And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon as well, so that you can be updated to all my latest content on this YouTube channel. So I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye, stay safe, stay home, and until not absolutely necessary, don't move out.